I just wanted to comment about our Congress, how slowly they move on prosecuting people. I mean, we got crooks out there in our system that just need to be prosecuted, and the leftist judges are protecting them and letting them back out on the street.
Yep.
We just can't have that happen in our society anymore.
I couldn't agree with you more, and it comes down again to what the voters' priorities are. I'm in California, and voters went to the ballot and they passed something called Proposition 47 that famously allowed you to steal up to $950, not a day, but per store after store after store. And if you get busted, the worst that'll happen is they write you a ticket because you committed a misdemeanor. Zero chance of your going to jail because in California we have cashless bail. And then they passed Proposition 57 that lowered a whole bunch of categories of crime from violent felonies to nonviolent felonies. So now after Proposition 57, serial arson, I'm not making this up, is now a non-violent felony. Assault of a police officer is now a non-violent felony here in California. Rape of an intoxicated victim after Proposition 57 is now a non-violent felony. And voters went to the polls and voted for them. Now, they did so because you had AGs like Kamala Harris, who wrote a paragraph or two describing what the proposition does, and that's what voters see when they get their ballots. And they described it as criminal justice reform. And voters realized that they were rooked, and that's why they passed Proposition 36 recently that essentially gutted Proposition 47. But it comes down to what voters want and what their priorities are. And as long as you're putting these soft on crime DAs in office, we're going to have these problems. The number one job of government is to protect people and property. And I've seen poll after poll after poll showing that people living in the inner city, where most crime takes place, street crime takes place, want police manpower to remain the same or to be increased. They're not down with this defund the police stuff. But because of George Floyd, it's now the 5th anniversary of the George Floyd protests and riots. Police departments, we talked about this recently, in every major city, including where I'm sitting right now, Los Angeles, have a deficit in manpower. The LAPD has not been a department with this few a number of officers in years. Officers resigned, they transferred to other departments, they retired early, and then the pressure is on to recruit new police officers. And given the image that the police have with a bunch of left-wing people yelling and screaming about systemic racism and the failure of the department leaders to back their officers, a lot of people who otherwise would be cops have said to hell with it, I'm not going to join. And you're absolutely right. People, once criminals realize the chances of being caught are lower, chances of being convicted are lower, chances of being incarcerated are lower, crime goes up. And the people most hurt are people living in the inner city, the very people that people on the left purport to care about.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.